Hi guys, as you can see this is a pretty long video and I did try and choose a large variety of questions that I was asked, so hopefully you can put up with it for the duration. The gameplay I posted last week with Jax in the jungle, as I said in the video, it wasn't really one of those games where it was like a destroyer gameplay. Well, this one is. It's another ranked game. I think it actually might be one of my promotion games to move up to Gold 4. Straight away we were pretty fucked, to be honest, because we were playing 4v5 because Tristana disconnected and we had no AD carry. The other team troll picked as well and they had 2 AD carries, but it's 5 versus 4 in their favour, so really we should have obviously lost. I'm playing Kassadin in mid, who is, in my opinion, one of the solo queue's face roll champions, because when fed he just demolishes squishy champs, which is what their team mostly consisted of. I was counter picked by Talon, but after level 6 it was a breeze really. In this game I pretty much did try and take nearly every kill that we had as a team, because I know that well, Lee Sin and Renekton are going to be really playing a tanky build, and I was just going to be the main source of damage, so I did need a lot of kills to get items to do that, and actually that helped us a lot by playing that way. And Tristana did connect eventually around like 30 minutes or something and try and catch up. And also, instead of cutting the footage like the last one, I've tried to speed it up so you can kind of watch the entire match. As I get so many kills, it's kind of hard to cut it to the best parts. So yeah, moving on to the questions. Firstly, what are you studying and what are your plans for the future, i.e. job, gaming and family? Well, I might have mentioned this in some other videos before, but I'm studying games design. Pretty typical for me and probably not a surprise to you. I've also probably said 100 times that I'm pretty close to graduating my 3-year course. I'm on my last 10 weeks now before graduation. So from then on I pretty much plan to take a whole year out and just chill, because honestly I've had enough of doing things like education, because I've been learning shit since I was like, what, 4 years old. So going through like 11 years of school, 3 years of college, 3 years of university. So now I'm just going to take a year off, play games, post loads of YouTube videos and stream games. And apart from gaming stuff, I'll be focusing on my skills in like level design and the 3D stuff that I've learnt at university to create my portfolio. And I'll also try and do some other typical stuff in what people do in breaks, like travelling and stuff, but we'll have to see how that goes. Do you think there will be any FPS games that will take Pro Mod's place and be very competitive? Right now, no, not really. I mean, you could say that CSGO took Pro Mod's place, but it didn't really, because Counter-Strike already existed while Pro Mod did, so it's not like it replaced it, it just replaced the previous Counter-Strike. It's no secret that FPS on PC is just dying massively, and MOBA and RTS games are taking over. For me, the only hope is Too Good's game that's in development called Reborn. I'm not sure if many of you are aware of this, so maybe you should Google it. But as far as I know, in short, Too Good, for those who don't know him, is like an esports caster, and he's developing an FPS game in cooperation with some professional Quake players. Unfortunately, this won't be out at least until like next year. Along with that, there's always hope that the people who left Activision some time ago and created the Respawn Entertainment Company will come out with something good, but there's been no word from them either. Why don't you play CSGO? I just don't like Counter-Strike games in general. There's not much else I can say on that topic. CS games have just never really interested me in the way that they play in general. Are you going to post Days standalone videos? Yeah, I'm definitely going to post those kinds of videos. For me, since I've been playing games on PC since I was like 11, Days mod was literally one of the best that I've played. I enjoyed it so much, and I played it for a ridiculous amount of hours over the summer when it became big. Unfortunately, it did get boring after some months because the game was pretty limited in what it could do because it was a mod. So I'm excited for the standalone, and it's unfortunate that it's been pushed back months before its release date, but I'm really hoping it gets released just after I graduate, because that'd be so ideal. Do you think you'll play Elder Scrolls Online? I haven't actually looked at it at all, to be honest. I mean, it's a possibility that I'll play it, but I doubt it's a game that I'll stick to for very long, because with every type of RPG or MMO game I play, I always get bored really fast for some reason. What are your thoughts about Kaffa's new movie trailer? Yeah, it's really good. I even posted the link to it on my Facebook page a week ago or something when it was released. The movie looks promising. I just wish that I could get some progression on my own frag movie, because it's been like a year now and all I've really seen is 30 seconds, although the 30 seconds are really good. But it's become very hard to contact Noctis, who's making it, although he did post a new image on his Facebook page last week, so at least he's still doing something on it, I hope. Has anyone on LoL ever recognised your name? Yeah, a couple of people have, not many at all though. I mean, LoL is so massive and the amount of people on it is crazy, so I wouldn't really expect many people to know me on it. And most of the people who do recognise me are people who obviously play COD 4. So, have you been keeping up with the recent competitive LoL LCS, or are you not interested in competitive LoL? I mean, I am kind of interested in competitive LoL, but in a way I'm not really as well, because I don't ever watch any of the tournaments or streams. I don't keep up with teams or the news or anything like that. But saying that, I barely ever watch streams for Pro Mod tournaments that I wasn't playing at as well. So, how do you feel about Dota 2? Well, some might know I did actually post a Dota 2 video way back when I played it in its very early closed beta stage, even though apparently it's still in beta now. So, I can't say that I enjoyed it as much as I did League of Legends. I mean, I'm very aware that the game requires more skill than LoL, but I just didn't enjoy it. It just felt slower. I don't really like the art style. I just didn't really like it much. What's your favourite competitive game of all time? Well, COD 1 is my favourite game of all time. I'm not really sure you could class that as competitive though. I mean, it didn't exactly have many LANs. And the prize spots for those lands were so small that they were pretty much pointless as prizes. But if you can class COD 1 as a competitive game in its prime, then I guess that would be your answer. What are your plans for the future, and are you planning to join a LoL team, or do you just play for fun? Well, I guess the future part I answered earlier, but expanded on that for the teams part. When I do graduate, I actually plan to take LoL pretty serious and tend some LANs for it. I mean, thinking I'm going to be able to play in big teams is extremely optimistic and will probably never happen, but I guess I could have said that when I was playing COD 1 and looking at the professional COD 2 players and then thinking I wanted to join organisations such as Dignitas, and then I did multiple times, so anything's a possibility. Why don't you begin with LoL tutorials? I've seen this quite a bit, but the problem with this is that I don't really feel like I'm in a position to create LoL tutorials because I can't in confidence say everything knowing that it's 100% correct, because I haven't really played on a top level like I did in Pro Mod. And with the amount of mechanics in LoL and the ridiculous amount of champions, it would probably take forever. But I mean, it's something I could think about, but I'm sure there's also loads of tutorials for LoL on YouTube anyway. Do you regret not making a channel called Phantasy before you started making videos? Pretty straightforward answer to this one. Yeah, I definitely do, because I think it'd be way easier now to associate with me. I had chances even after I posted my first ever tutorial on Crash, because people told me to make a new account then, but I just never did because I didn't really think this channel would become as popular as it did. Although the whole Pro Dragon thing kind of has nostalgic values to it as well, because it's like my first ever proper gaming name when I was like 11 in Medal of Honor, so it's kind of cool at the same time. Now that Pro Mod has come to its conclusion, do you feel like you've accomplished everything you set out to do? This is probably one of my favourite questions, and yeah, I do, because that's probably one of the most satisfying feelings when you've put so much time and effort into something, even if it's just a game, that everything you wanted to achieve you completed. I mean, through the 5-year span I saw the game grow from nothing to its biggest peak and now to its lowest, and I was there throughout that, and in that time I was able to join multiple professional organisations and teams, play with great people and attend over 30 LAN events, as well as the countless online competitions. And to top it all off, I got something even more, which is this channel, and where I have closing in 30,000 subscribers. So in fact I probably got more than I planned to achieve in the game, and it's kind of crazy to sit here and think at the age of 15 and 16 I said to myself and the friends I was playing with at the time in COD 1 that I was going to become something good in COD 4, and then managed to travel around Europe for free and so on because of it. Which is why it's sad to me that Pro Mod wasn't bigger, but the main problem with the game is the obvious lack of developer support, and every big game in esports requires that developer support, and COD just never really had that on the PC. Can you tell us about the basics of your course? Well, my course is very 3D modelling orientated. I've done loads of random shit things as well that I didn't want to learn over the 3 years, like extra modules such as animation, motion tracking, and then some essay stuff like creative narratology, which is like storytelling or some shit. But this third year we kind of get to focus on what we want to do, and like for my future job I'd like to be an environmental artist or level designer, as you said, which is what I did a lot of last year as well. And my final year project over the next 10 weeks means I have to model like every object from nothing, texture it and put it in a game engine to essentially create a whole level by myself. And it is an enjoyable experience, but very time consuming and stressful at the same time. A lot of people on my course focus on character design, but I just hate that shit. I just want to make cool levels really, so yeah, mostly we just use programs like 3ds Max, Unreal Development Kit, etc. What do I think of Recoil? Well, I looked at it a few months ago, and I mean the concept behind it looks cool, and I'm glad it's apparently focused on the basics, with having loads of mod support and map creations and so on, but I haven't heard much from it recently. I mean, apparently from its alpha and beta testing the general feedback was that it was bad. I didn't actually try it, but I can't say I've looked at it recently, so I might have to take another look and see if there's any updates and improvements on it. What's your favourite lane in League? I can play every lane, but I'd say the one I play most and feel most confident in is the mid lane. I just prefer AP carries more than anything. I say I'm best in mid, but my AD carry isn't that far off, because they're like the most two aggressive roles obviously, and they get the most kills, and that just suits my playstyle. Then my jungle in the top lane are pretty similar, but worse than my AD carry mid, and my support probably isn't even that bad. I mean, it's not exactly the hardest role ever, but it's just boring as shit and I can't be bothered with that. What was the biggest LAN with the best prizes you ever won? I couldn't really think of the best prizes I ever won. I mean, COD 4 never really had the biggest prize pots in the world. I think the biggest prize pots as far as I can remember were the experience LANs in Denmark, where we had like 30k tournaments, and I came second of Team Cooler Master then. But then obviously the prizes are split into 5 people plus organisation percentages, so I've never really won more than like 700 from one LAN event. The biggest LAN in terms of teams I would have to say was one of the I-Series. I think it was I-37 that had like 80 COD 4 teams or something crazy, and it was awesome. Yeah, basically the experience 2009 was the one I just mentioned, and that was the week before where we came second to Fnatic because we lost on strike pretty hard, although we won the first map, but because we came from the lower bracket we had to win 2 maps and they had to win 1 map. Yeah, so we came second then, and then a week later we had to play at I-37, where we came from the lower bracket again, and we met Fnatic on the stage again for the finals, and then again we had to win 2 maps and they only had to win 1. And we won the first map on City Streets in overtime, and then again lost on strike pretty badly, because we didn't bother to fix it in the week we had, because we're stupid. But that was probably one of the best LANs, because I remember being on stage and looking up while in this massive hall to have like at least between 1,000 and 2,000 people just watching us play, and it was crazy. Okay, I've just been talking too much and I've got like 40 seconds to answer like 4 questions, so these are going to have to be really fast. What is your main goal with this channel, and will you have a schedule? Yeah, I will have one when I finish uni. I'm going to be posting loads more then and streaming, but right now it's kind of hard. What did I think of The Hobbit, and how long have I had a girlfriend? Strange question, but The Hobbit was awesome. Probably one of the best films I ever seen, and I loved it. Not sure if I ever mentioned about my newer girlfriend, since I said about the old one ages ago because of inactivity. But yeah, I got a new, better one who I've been with for like 7 months. Where did you get the name Phantasy, and how many names have you had? Honestly, since like Medal of Honor, I could have easily had like over 500 names because I used to change it all the time to random cool words, but I got the name Phantasy because I saw people spelling words differently in different ways, so I can't really remember how. What studio do you think you'll work for? No idea really. I mean, I'm very stubborn in that I won't work for a company or have a job if I don't enjoy it, so I hope that I can get something that I like and not work for some shit Hello Kitty company modelling gay cats. And last question, do you think your passion still lies in FPS games? If so, what game would you like to blow up in esports? Yeah, it definitely does. It never will change. Give me a good FPS game and I'll be there. I'd like that Reborn game to blow up, but I wish it would come out sooner because I can't really be bothered to wait for over a year. But okay, that's all. This video is long, so sorry about that. Goodbye, friends.